This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. It is
Friday.
Thank the Lord. I have not seen you in a hot minute. How are you?
I know. Well, I feel like I've
Gotta
been
fix
here.
My pockets. Yeah, I know. But here, I'm glad to see you.
Yes, I'm glad to be back here.
It's your home.
I love being here with you.
Agreed, and I love being here with you. Let's bring in some other people. It's Lindsay and Jeff. It's a full house.
Hey, guys.
Hey, everyone. Let everybody do the Friday dance.
Yes. Break it down on
Jeffrey
Friday.
won't do it. He will not participate.
Come on. Jeff won't do it?
No. He will not
I've seen Jeff bust a move.
I'm on a little delay over here. I'm on a little delay. So I saw all you standing there.
That's like my stand-up jokes.
Yeah, kind of like your dance moves, right?
Yeah, a little delay. All right, let's get to what happened last night. It wasn't a debate, was it? But it was an odd night of dueling town halls between President Trump and former VP Biden. Early ratings are in. These are early. And as of right now, Biden pulled in more viewers than the president, although that could change when the final numbers come in. So DBL Nation, we go to you. We want to know which candidate you thought had the better performance. Head on over to dblvote.com to weigh in. This is good practice for voting, guys. Go ahead and vote if you think President Trump or Vice President Biden won. A lot of people are talking about how the president was grilled by Savannah Guthrie. At one point, she referred to him as the crazy uncle. Take a listen. Trump said, well, when she heard the not crazy uncle, that's his niece. Meanwhile, a very different tone in Biden's town hall moderated by George Stephanopoulos. A grilling. So I would love to go down the line and get just a quick note on how you guys felt about the town halls. Lindsay, what'd you think? Tough question. Should Biden have faced tougher? What'd you think?
Well, I saw a Vox reporter said that Biden's town hall was delightfully boring, which it was, but this whole year was extreme, so it was nice to see something calm. I think for the NBC town hall, I know a lot of people probably thought that President Trump was going to have an opportunity to make this another campaign event, but if you know anything about Savannah Guthrie, she's the same person that grilled him on the birther comments about President Obama. She's the same person that grilled Dr. Conrad Murray about Michael Jackson, so I knew offhand, having worked with her in the past, this was not going to be an easy debate, and I guess it depends on the moderator. I'm actually surprised at George Stephanopoulos for being so light on Joe Biden.
I got to be honest with you, I'm a bit ignorant. I thought Savannah was going to be a little bit more softball. Man, did she prove me wrong. Good for you for mentioning all those things. Jeff, what do you think of the dueling town halls? And I feel cool saying that. There's a delay. That's why he's not laughing.
Well, there you go, Tori. You could say it all weekend and make some new friends. But here's my thing. I don't understand why they had it on at the same time. That's the first part I'm confused about. I mean, even the NFL spaced out games so you could go from one game and then check the ending to another game. To have them on at the same time is idiotic. You're still dividing the nation. Have one after the other, one before the other. That being said, they can control that. I can't control that. But Savannah, I think, went in really hard on President Trump, and that's fine. But if you're going to do that to President Trump, do the same to Biden. Stephanopoulos didn't go hard. He softballed the questions. Listen, I don't blame him for doing that, but if you're going to do something to Trump, you have to do it to the other. They didn't even ask Biden about his son and the allegations that just broke. And they didn't ask him that question even to clear the air. They didn't ask that question. So, listen, I understand how the nation feels, but the media is unfair to Donald Trump. I am going to say that.
What's interesting, and we're going to move on and get Erica's take on this, is that a lot of people think Trump called for that town hall himself. He wanted that time slot, he wanted NBC, and he wanted Savannah Guthrie to compete completely, and a lot of people boycotted NBC for that very reason. Right now, it's Vice President Biden leading by a lot. I do want to ask Erica this. One thing in common, both candidates did dodge some big questions, okay? So let's listen to Biden's answer when asked, will he pack the Supreme Court? Take a look.
Well, first of all, the COVID test thing is completely unacceptable. I mean, I just tested this morning. It took all of 15 minutes from the moment that I walked into the clinic to the moment that I got my negative test back. 15 minutes. If I can get that done in 15 minutes, the president absolutely should not have put everyone in jeopardy at that debate. It was on the honor system, and that's basically saying, I have no honor. In terms of the two debates, I completely agree with what Jeff and Lindsay have been saying. I don't understand why they would go head to head unless this is really what we've all seen it to be in recent weeks and in the past year, an entertainment competition. And this just isn't entertainment. These are people's lives. I do agree that I would have liked them to at least acknowledge and ask the question about Hunter Biden. Now, this is where duality of thought and flexibility of thinking really comes in terms of voting. My husband and I have already voted. We did vote for Biden. I'll just put that out there, not that it's a huge shock. But we're also an oil and gas family, and Biden has been very hard on the oil and gas community. Now, I know a lot of people aren't going to have a lot of empathy for that, but when you say you're going to throw oil and gas executives in jail, all of them, just carte blanche, because you're evading something that you don't want to talk about within your own family, I do have a problem with that, as my husband and I sat down and voted for someone who threatened to throw him in jail. So I would have liked to hear a little bit more about that, and I do agree that the two debates or town halls were very different. But at the end of the day, unless you're very single issue, then you have to look at the whole, not just little parts.
Yeah, I also think that nobody was really swayed that much by either. I appreciate you telling everyone the honesty. Let's talk about your comments, what you guys thought. Patrick wrote, I like the town halls better than hearing them yell at each other. Patrick, amen, sir. Sharon says Savannah Guthrie was way too harsh on the president. There was no respect. Larry thought, I thought President Trump appeared strong, and I want someone strong leading our country. And finally, Mary said, I need Savannah to moderate the debate. Someone finally stood up to Trump's antics. All right, let's take a look at the megaphone. And at 70%, someone at the last moment, Vice President Biden beat President Trump in this town hall, according to you guys. Thank you so much for voting. We do want to show you this unexpected show stealer, but this time it was not a fly. No, it was this woman in the red mask, nodding along with President Trump. She was quickly spotted by sharp eyes. Many online saying we could all use someone that supportive. Did we need another fly moment? Was the fly moment the moment that brought us to pop culture, or are you glad that we didn't have that, Linz?
I'm glad we didn't have another fly, but I all think that everybody on this conversation right now needs somebody in their corner that's going to be not into everything they say and really be their champion. So if you're going to be there at the town hall, you know, either you're really interested in hearing what's going on, or you're really a strong supporter of the candidate. And so obviously that's what we got to see in that video.
Girl, you know that's exactly what the church ladies do in the first pew. Like, yes,
and
amen,
at the temple,
exactly.
at the synagogue, amen. Jeff, what do you think? Did we need a fly moment, or are you so glad we didn't go there?
No, I'm glad we didn't go there. The attention span of America right now is about 4 seconds, right? The president's talking about something that's going to affect us for the next 4 years, and people are like, fly, look what's in the background there. I can't believe that person doesn't have a matching outfit. They're talking about everything but what they need to be talking about. All they want to do is have a moment on Twitter, get some likes, and it's getting a little ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm glad it was taken seriously, and it was better than the yelling at each other. I think everyone can agree. Bipartisan decision on that one. It was better than that awful debate. All right, coming up on DBL, the new words introduced in 2020, all because of the coronavirus. Plus, the making of Mariah Carey's new tell-all book. We talk with the author, who has all the deets on this unfiltered story of the music legend's life. And before we go to break, we want to let you know it's a nearly empty studio in here. That's why no one's laughing at my jokes. Many of our producers, I know, Erica, are still working from home during the pandemic. We'll be right back. Welcome back to DBL. The pandemic has changed a lot about the way we live, but it's also changing what we're most scared of. Anyone want to guess the most Googled phobia of 2020? Anyone? There's no one here. Well, the most Googled phobia of the year is the fear of other people. The term for this is anthropophobia, right, Lindsay? That is so interesting. Searches for this increased 5 times in 2020. You just gasped, Lindsay. What do you think?
I have FOMO, like fear of missing out, meaning I like to be around a lot of people. So this is something that I definitely didn't Google, but I mean, I can understand. I've been so OCD and just like staying away from everybody, just like, no, I can't hang out, I can't, you know, so I understand.
I'm with you, though.
I thought it was going to be COVID because I also thought I had COVID like 10 times.
A lot of people
and I
think
didn't.
that.
I got 10 tests.
I have FOMO too. Jeff, you kind of have anthropophobia. You don't fear people, you don't love them.
Yeah, I Googled this a long time ago. I'm not a big fan of people, and I try to stay away from them. So I Googled this like back in the 2000, 2001 era.
Someone just wrote in and said, you're going to be that guy in 20 years yelling at kids to get off your lawn. I love that. All right, the
100%.
100%.
And love it, too. And go inside with my coffee and a smile.
You're that old man. Oh, you're grumpy. All right, the pandemic has also changed the way we speak. Erica, check out these new words created because of the virus. So first up, we need a little music here. Rona, which according to dictionary.com is an informal shortening of coronavirus. Next, we've used this word on the show, COVIDiot, or someone who disregards health and safety guidelines. I like this one. It's quarantini, a slang term for cocktail people. For a cocktail people drink at home while under quarantine. And finally, corona babies, or babies conceived while people are cooped up at home. What are your favorites on that, Erica?
Well, I definitely have used Rona way too many times. Quarantini, way too many hangovers.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's just a quarantine. Everyone's doing it 5 times. No, go ahead.
I was thinking about this. I'm like, now it's become, any other time, it'd be like, you shouldn't consume this much. Totally. And now it's just like a part of what people do. Like, it's a lifestyle thing. Like, well, doesn't have to be 5 o'clock somewhere. It could be 5 a.m. You know what? Just drink when you want. Totally. It's like, well, what happens when all of this is over? Are we just going to be drinking at all hours of the day?
I know you're joking about that, but you're absolutely right. Like, the idea, I saw a sign that was like, it's 2 o'clock somewhere, that like everything's getting earlier. People have gone to Vices a lot to chill out. And I think that's going to be hard to train back as a habit, don't you think, when this is over?
Yeah, because it takes, 21 days to make a habit? I mean, y'all quadrupled the habit.
You quarantine.
I say y'all like I'm not a part of it.
I love it. You're so in there. Coming up on DBL, we're chatting with the author who collaborated with Mariah Carey on her best-selling new book, Uncovering the Secrets of a Star. Coming up next.
Ladies, what's the...
Welcome back to DBL. While Mariah Carey was planning a big Christmas special for fans, she received news that her new memoir went straight to #1. And earlier, Lindsay spoke with author Michaela Davis about the book that's making headlines. Take a look.
Michaela Davis, congratulations on The Meaning of Mariah. It became a New York Times #1 best-selling book already. So how did you, Mariah, feel? What did you guys talk about when that happened?
I think when Mariah and I called each other, like, we screamed for a good straight 30 seconds. We gagged. I mean, we really screamed. And why it was so surprising and so significant, we got great reviews. And we got great reviews from people who don't normally give great reviews. But the week that we became #1 was probably one of the most intense news weeks in terms of what was going on in the administration of the whole year. We expected maybe we could sneak in and that we would climb. So when we knocked Rage out of its #1 spot, like we didn't see it coming.
So you were a fashion editor at Essence magazine in 2005 when Mariah Carey had her The Emancipation of Mimi album out. Can you talk about how you guys became friends?
So I was invited to what I thought was your typical industry listening party for Emancipation. What happened at this listening, I arrived in L.A. Reid sitting at this console with white flowers and candles, and there's like this very perfect, fabulous moment, and he starts playing the songs, right? When he put on Fly Like a Bird, I got up, went out into the hallway, called my editor-in-chief at the moment and said, look, I'm coming to your office tomorrow morning, and if you don't, I'm not leaving until you say Mariah Carey is gonna be on the cover. And Mariah Carey had never been on the cover of Essence before, and largely because this ambiguity around her Blackness. And there was this narrative that she had never claimed that she was Black. So this was a big deal because I felt like Fly Like a Bird was just this perfect, like Black, spiritual woman's anthem.
Many of the stories shared in the book are making headlines. So I have to ask you, what is the most compelling story in the book?
The one where she first hear ODB's rap on Fantasy is just, it's hilarious. It's so good. And if you get the audible, you can hear it.
Me and Mariah go back like babies with pacifiers.
Now, Mariah also opened up about her exes. She said that Tommy Mottola was abusive and that she wasn't intimate with James Packer. What do you think made her comfortable to spill the tea?
It never felt like tea. I guess part of, if anything was shady, it was like who we didn't mention. There are several people who were quite worried about how they would be painted in the book, and they're not in there at all.
Well, Michaela Angela Davis, thank you so much. Congratulations again to you and Mariah. Yes, and DBL Nation, you can go pick up your copy of The Meaning of Mariah or download the Audible because, as you just heard, Michaela said it's awesome. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Welcome back to DBL. Have you ever had one of those days where you're driving and it seems like everyone is out to make you mad? Yeah. Me too. Well, you'll probably recognize some of the top pet peeves drivers deal with on the roads. We're chatting about it in today's DBL. In today's DBL Drive, sponsored by who, y'all?
Car Shield.
That's right, helping me out. Drivers say their biggest pet peeve is people who drive while distracted. Like people are texting. Next on the list, not using your blinker. I'll never understand that one. Third on the pet peeve list are drivers that are always tailgating. Fourth is cutting others off, which is just not safe. And lastly, drivers who have a lead foot and who drive over the speed limit. When it comes to your car, for peace of mind, get an auto protection plan with Car Shield. Car Shield protects their members from the high cost of auto repairs. Call 1-800-505-9619 for a free quote. I gotta be honest with you ladies, I don't like it when I let someone in, go ahead, and there's no wave.
Yes.
I need the wave.
But the wave is very important, but you have to be very intentional about the wave.
It needs to be like a ship wave.
Because I had a pen in my hand. Don't ask me why I was driving with a pen in my hand, but I was writing a note. And I went to wave, and then apparently they thought that I was flipping them off because they came around me and honked and flipped me off. And I was like, well, you let me in, and I was saying, and then I was like, oh, I had a pen in my hand.
It's the miscommunication with the wave. Linz, can we see your wave? How wide is it?
Guys, I'm from New York. There ain't no wave happening over here. It's just a straight up, let's drive. I'm sorry. And also, my biggest thing is when people drive slowly and cut you off. Like in New York, you just cut somebody off. It is what it is. If you're gonna slowly get into my lane and almost hit me, like make a decision. Like I don't got time for all these niceness on the road rules. I appreciate nice people, but it's just driving. Get to where you're going. Let's go.
That's so true. In New York is like harsh, I guess.
It's hard out there
I
in
know,
the streets.
I know, Erica. I need to meditate.
In Chicago,
gotta wave.
You can be a little crunk, but you gotta be polite.
You have to.
Okay, that's Midwest.
That is Midwest. All right, before we go, we want to wish our very own Brandon London a happy birthday. We love you, Mila. Hope you're having an amazing, great day, buddy. We love you. We've seen you grow. You're 36 now. You're grown up.
Oh, you can't tell us age,
36
Tori.
now. You're a grown up. You are real, and we are hoping for the best. We love you. We love you. We love you. DBL, we are new every day. You get to see these waving ladies all the time. We'll see you Monday, same place, same time. Bye, guys. Have a wonderful weekend and be safe. Bye, guys.